Hello people, this is New Sensei. It's just been raining, it's a little chilly, but some things cannot wait. This is the W&W Wiawis Nano TFT. The Nano TFT is the ultimate in W&W's carbon designs, taking a step away from the tried and true design of the Inno series. If Olympic target risers are space-age technology to you, this is the epitome of technological advancement and design. As with the other designs in the Wiawis series, the Nano TFT is made from carbon graphite and nanocarbon. W&W boasts a significant improvement in vibration control, as well as improved rigidity in the sight window. In simple terms, this should mean that the bow has less hand shock, is more stable, and is less prone to tiny variations caused by torque. Given that I'm already satisfied with the Inno CXD, I expect a lot from these claims. The TFT comes in a small range of colors, including matte black, matte grey, and glossy black, blue, or red. Visually, there is a lot to like about the TFT. It looks distinctly different from other W&W bows. You might recognize the triangular cutout, but other than that, it's a bold move that incorporates its new design elements within its solid frame. The main advance in the TFT design is the H-beam, promoted as the torque-free system by W&W. Basically, the H-beam is an internal frame that strengthens the riser along the sight window. As modern bows are cut past center to give a straighter arrow flight, the riser's frame may be susceptible to torque and vibration. Top-end designs, either aluminium or carbon, minimize this in their own way. The TFT's H-beam is meant to be the ultimate in reducing torque and vibration. The Nano TFT features the usual standard W&W features, the T-style limb pocket and horizontal adjustment bolts, which are easy to work with. It has standard IOF limb bolts, though it's worth noting the new bolt design. Apart from the visual difference, it looks like it was designed to be easily tightened by hand after loosening the nut behind it, which should be a nice user-friendly improvement. Aside from that, the TFT has the same standard sight bushings and stabilizer bushings on top, middle, bottom, and under the grip. The grip has changed somewhat. The shape is slightly different, being slightly larger but still quite natural and comfortable to use. The material is rubbery, giving a softer, non-slip feel compared to other W&W risers. The grip and the riser in general is noticeably thinner than the Inno Max and Nano Max, though it is still reasonably hefty. This makes the TFT a very comfortable fit in the hand. A small note, the front of the riser has more pronounced ridges. This is a slightly different feel to the smoother contours in other W&W designs, and is a little uncomfortable if you grip with the fingers around the riser. That said, this is clearly designed for freestyle shooting, so you would have your fingers off the riser while using a sling. The riser is slightly top-heavy, though this is easily balanced with stabilizers in the Olympic-style setup. Innately, the TFT riser does feel very well balanced. The weight is distributed evenly throughout the riser, and the riser feels like it wants to stay vertical. This is a subtle but important sign of a top-end performance riser. As a bonus, I'll be testing the TFT with the Wiawis NS limbs. These new limbs were released alongside the TFT, and it's obviously made to match. While the Wiawis 1 limbs are more or less similar to other high-performance wood or carbon core limbs, the NS limbs boast a nano graphene foam core. W&W claims that the NS limbs improve power and stability and minimize string movement, reducing the grouping spread. I expect these graphene limbs to pack quite a punch. Put the TFT and the NS limbs together and you get the most awe-inspiring W&W setup you can possibly get in 2017. Alright, let's try some Barebow shooting. Now I've had a quick shot before and I'm speechless at how smooth this bow is. And I really want to emphasize how quiet the bow is. Of course, I'm not shooting with particularly good Barebow style. I'll work on that. Just to showcase the bow itself. There's a lot to like about this. Now this is really meant to be used with an Olympic style setup with stabilizers and sights, but even without any stabilizers or weights, that's really smooth. The draw is very smooth. It does come out with a bit of a punch, as carbon limbs tend to do, but just the amount of vibration control just in the riser itself, that comes out really, really nicely. It's definitely like a sports car Bose. So as it is, the bow is amazing. The amount of vibration dampening in the riser itself is amazing. This was obviously what was promoted into marketing as minimizing vibrations by a significant amount, and truly that is a very good amount of control. Even compared to the Inno Max and the Inno CXT, which I use, I do notice a very big difference in vibration control. I do think the construction of the riser has had a big impact on that. The bow is very quiet, and again, we're combining the best limbs that W&W has right now with the best riser that W&W has right now. This shouldn't be a surprise, but truly everything about this bow is amazing. I would definitely equate this with the W&W Black Wolf in terms of its look and feel, but of course, being a full-size target bow, it doesn't kick as much or stack as much. It's a much more stable platform for a target bow. That's exactly what it's meant for. I should note that the rubberized grip is very comfortable. As with most W&W grips, it fits very nicely, but it doesn't feel cold to the touch, and it does feel like it gives some control without being overly sticky, and of course not too slippery. So right out the box, the bow is exceptionally well balanced, well made, and very comfortable to use. Now the owner of this bow does use it for Barebow, and he does use a small weight, so let's see how this changes the balance and shot. It's still top heavy, but it does kind of mitigate some of the extreme tilt, but we should see some change in the vibration. Already good, but maybe this will make it a bit more controllable. It's already good, so it doesn't really make that much of a difference. That is a very nice bow. It's I would believe it's well tuned for one. That's a really big point to make. A bow out of tune will make a lot more noise and have a lot more vibration. This is quite well tuned, I believe. Yeah, that is nice. Now we'll do one more test with the Olympic style setup with the stabilizers. I don't have a spare sight, so I am shooting instinctive with stabilizers, which looks a little weird, but I want to see how this bow handles with a full stabilizer setup. You can see the balance is now forward, which is what you expect from an Olympic style bow, so it should tip forward quite nicely. I do expect there to be a bit more control with the vibration, which I've said before is already quite good. Ooh, that is wonderful. Already it's a good bow to handle by itself, but again with the stabilizers, it is fully controllable. There's really no vibration in hand shock, and it is definitely a high performance bow. That's what you expect from W&W. Okay, this looks weird because I'm not using a sight, but you can probably see the effect the stabilizers have on the bow. The bow's fine. It's the user that's faulty, but the bow is really good. Yep, that's a good bow. Overall thoughts on the Wiawis TFT. I'm speechless, really. This really was a pleasure to shoot. I can't fault it. There's nothing wrong with it. As far as I can feel, everything about this riser and bow is excellent. I mean, again, I have the NS limbs with the Nano TFT. This is the best combination you can get with W&W or any bow at the moment. This is definitely their high-end flagship item. How does it compare to the Wiawis Nano Max? I actually haven't shot the Nano Max yet. I will be doing so very shortly. But from what I can tell and feel, the Wiawis Nano Max is more of a continuation of the more well-known Inno series. It's a very similar shape and feel, but updated with better construction and materials. This is a new design, and it does incorporate new features and new design elements which the Inno series didn't have. So having come from the Inno CXT generation, this is very new to me, and I'd say this is definitely an advance in W&W's design. I think this is definitely the go-to bow for luxury high-end performance. I feel this bow is definitely a medal-winning bow. It has the control and the feel and the performance you expect from this level. And again, with these limbs, which are exceptionally smooth, they really do beat out the W&W carbon limbs. This is the graphene limbs, and it's definitely a step up. You can feel it, you can see it. It's hard to measure without any objective tools at my disposal, but I'd say this combination is definitely the best you can go for if you're going to spend top dollar on top gear. And to be quite honest, I know people have been asking about what your dream bow would be. At the time I bought my bow, the Inno CXT with the Inno CXT limbs, that was my dream bow. That was the best you could get, 5 or 6 years ago. If I were to make the same decision today and have an unlimited budget and buy whatever I wanted, I would probably go for this. And that's saying a lot. I haven't changed my bow ever since I bought my CXT. I bought that thinking that would be my final bow. But if I were to buy another one, it would be this. That's how high I rate the TFT. And again, I might change my mind when I touch the Nano Max, but this is the new release. This is a new design, and it's nice to see something different from W&W. If you've shot the Inno Max or the Inno CXT, then you know what the Nano Max basically feels like. This is a whole different game, and just the look of it, very attractive look. Nice curves, very sleek design. It's not overly thick, it's not overly heavy. It's a pretty standard weight now. It's around like 1200 to 1300 grams, which is quite average for a riser like this. But it definitely holds itself like a high-end carbon bow. So yeah, I am truly impressed. this is your top level professional bow. If you're not going to spend that much money, then this is definitely a luxury buy. But if you have big pockets and you want to get a high performance bow and this appeals to you, then performance wise it does not disappoint. It does live up to its branding and its marketing. It is a very sturdy, rigid bow. It doesn't feel like it loses control of the shot in any way, and I feel that this is going to perform well in your hands. Anyway, this is New Sensei. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.